Hello, hello, here we go, it's the Kopite Podcast.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Kopite Podcast. It's match reaction time. It's Liverpool versus Arsenal. The Reds have gone 3-1 winners and Matt Ramirez has finally got a prediction right. Good on you, Matt. Matt's back with us today.
Again. Don't doubt me again.
Matt is back with us again, once again, for filling in. Appreciate it, Matt. And Mick is with us, as always, with his fresh new haircut, looking gorgeous as ever. And I think he's happy, and we're celebrating a lovely win for the Reds, aren't we, Michael?
Boss win. It was just utter domination from minute one, weren't it? It was hard to watch sometimes, obviously, when they get a goal early on like that, and you just think, oh, what's going to happen here? Are they going to sit back and just absolutely just fucking 10 men behind the ball? But scored pretty much straight away, which was ideal.
Yeah, absolutely. Matt, going just before we got into the game, there was a lot of build-up today, more than I felt usual because of a Liverpool-Arsenal fixture. I think that's probably the recent history with the Charity Shield and obviously the game at the Emirates after the restart. How was you feeling during the day, mate? Was you nervous? Was you confident?
I wasn't nervous, to be honest. I don't really give too much importance to the match at Arsenal post when the restart happened because we weren't really on it after the restart anyway, and we'd won the league, so there's really nothing to go for. Community Shield, the season warm-up, no. But I had full confidence, especially the way that the attack's been working. Arsenal's defence is not that strong historically. Well, at least this Arsenal defence isn't that strong. So, yeah, I didn't really have any issues. I knew that their pace would be an issue, but how confidently and calmly we handled Werner, I wasn't particularly concerned. So, I was surprised Salah didn't score because he seems to score against Arsenal. But, happy with the result and expected, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Matt made a good point there. His confidence was high given the way we are as a team right now, and I think that's instilled through a lot of the fan base where we're not sort of afraid of this type of fixture anymore, are we? And given the fact that Liverpool sort of dominate Arsenal at Anfield over the years, I don't suppose you're any different from Matt, was you?
No, I mean, when you look at the recent fixtures, we've lost the last two apart from tonight, where we've pretty much battered them, in my opinion. You knew that they were going to be good on the counter. That you can see that from the way they were set up. It was just, you could see from the minute one the pressure that we were going to put on them. They wanted to play off from the back, and we were basically saying, "You're not going to fucking do that." And they were just absolutely panicking every time. Mane was just a man possessed. He elbowed someone in the face within the first 10 minutes. Luckily got a yellow card for that. I was feeling the worst, to be honest.
Yes.
But he looked like a man possessed. I think Holden's got the better of him on a couple of occasions recently, because he is a good player, to be fair. And I think he was just like, right, fuck this, tonight, where I just absolutely don't give any years a minute on the ball. And you could see that when he came off towards the end, he was a bit annoyed, wasn't he? But no, it wasn't no surprise for me. I did expect them to score. I don't expect Liverpool to keep any clean sheets recently. We seem to be not worrying so much really, but it's because I know we'll always score goals, but we do need to tighten that area up, definitely.
Matt, Mick just said there, the word dominant came into my head there, and Trent was brilliant going down that right hand side. In the first half, the whole game, but we're looking at the first half at the beginning of this, which seems quite right to start at the first half, doesn't it? But yeah, we were very dominant in that first half, and it was sort of like men against boys a little bit. The press was incredible. We were great to watch. There was lots of anticipation for us winning the ball against Arsenal, and then obviously there were some really good chances that we didn't put away. Leno makes a great save, point blank from Mane. But then it was a very silly mistake. Arsenal played well to get us out the pressing. They were really good at counter attacking there. And a little mistake from Robertson lets the goal in, and it sort of felt like that sinking feeling, didn't it?
Yeah. Thing is, I always, especially how we started the game, I always thought that we were going to take the lead, and when we didn't, it was at that point feeling like it was one of those games. Leno made a few saves, hit the bar, and Liverpool's of seasons gone by, you would have thought, we're done now. But the resilience that this team has showed for the last 2 years that we finished with 90 odd points, I thought we're going to get them back in the next few minutes here. It's just what happened. Unfortunate by Robertson, obviously. He's a solid defender. And I think it takes a little nick off Van Dijk. And then equally unfortunate is that Alisson's thinking that a quality striker like Lacazette's going to get a fair, good touch on it, and he just shanks it, but Alisson's already on the way down. But seasons gone by, I would have feared the worst, but this time around I thought, nah, we've still got these.
Yeah, and there's the confidence, isn't it, in this side, Mick, where and it's in the fan base now where you think, we've gone 1-0 down. But you know what? I'm fully confident we're going to get back into this. And it didn't take long before your favourite person in the world scored.
Yeah, I think it was 2-3 minutes, was it, before Sadio bags, and it's just like I said before, he was like a man possessed tonight. He was absolutely tremendous, and like you said, when we concede goals, we don't worry about it anymore. Like, I think back to was it 2018 where Maitland-Niles scores early on, and we beat them 5-1 in the end. Yeah. It's like teams like that's when you start to realise that this team doesn't matter. I mean, we've said that on loads of podcasts, haven't we, Jay, where it doesn't matter if we can see 1 or 2. We know we've got the firepower up front to come back and score goals, and that it's a matter of time. It's only on the rare occasion where if a team's that resolute in defending and keeping the shape that we're being kept out. But with those 3 up front, you've got your absolute work cut out, especially when you've got a Sadio Mane in absolute beast mode, just wanting to cause absolute havoc, and that's what happened within 3 minutes. And I was so happy that happened that fast, because what I didn't want to happen was get to half time 1-0 down, and then they bring on another midfielder or another defender and try and shut up shop, and it's even more difficult because playing. You could see the amount of times Van Dijk had the ball and he just smash it long, looking for Mane or Salah. Yeah. Because that was the only option we had. Playing into midfield, it was going into Fabinho or Keita or Wijnaldum, and they were just playing it back pretty much to the defenders to start again. So that was pretty much the only ball on. And if they would have another defender in there, it would have been, or another midfielder in there, it would have been even harder in the second half. So I'm glad we got that fast reply early doors.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. And obviously, you've touched on there about the front 3 scoring and Sadio Mane being in beast mode. But Matt, how nice was it, the fact that Robbo, gets the second goal? I mean, you could tell that when Trent had the ball on the right-hand side, he was looking for Robbo, which, again, the division of Trent Alexander-Arnold is absolutely incredible, and what a player he is, and we can talk about him all day, but what a ball it was, and you could tell he was looking for him. But, I mean, nice little take from Robbo, wasn't it, and to dink it over the keeper in the end.
Yeah. I thought initially that he's taking a heavy touch here, but then he's got a really quick turn of pace, and he gets there just before Leno, and the dink just makes it that much better. But Trent, it just shows again his quality on the ball, and you'd think he's been around 4 years. You'd think defenders would at least be aware of the fact that this boy is going to ping it far post and at least have someone there. But I think it's Bellerin just gets drawn to the middle and just completely forgets about Andrew Robertson, who is the definition of flying fullback. He's always there, and it's just brilliant ball and then great goal. Nothing more you can say about it.
No, you're absolutely right, mate. And I don't know about you boys, but it was half time, and I'm thinking, where the fuck did that half go? I mean, as a game of football, it was so entertaining. Credit to Arsenal, they were good in parts in that first half, but like Mick said before, we were so dominant. And I don't know about you, Mick, but I was like, where the fuck's that first half gone?
Yeah, 3 goals in the first half, and especially after they got one, was it on 25 minutes, was it something like that? So, like I say, getting that fast reply, and then when Robbo made that mistake, I was half tempted to go on Sky Bet or something and put see Robertson to score. 9 times out of 10, when he makes a mistake like that, he's bombing on even more so than usual, trying to make up for his error, because he wants to make sense of what he's done. Because obviously, I don't know if there was a touch from Van Dijk on the way through for their goal, but even still, he should be getting rid of that. And obviously, even when I made amends for it, but yeah, like you said, first half absolutely flew, and I was just made up to be up 2-1. They had to come out then second half chasing the game. Spaces started to open, and I mean, we were probably a lot more sloppy second half because they were pressing us a bit higher up, especially in the midfield areas and into Trent, trying to make him make errors. But we, our quality told in the end in that second half, and thankfully we got that last goal towards the end for for Diogo on his first goal for the Reds. Boss.
Before we move on to the second half, I just want to get your boys' opinions on something. I get that Arsenal are a ball-playing team, and I can appreciate that. But I am bemused at why certain teams insist on playing the ball out of the back against Liverpool. I don't understand it for the life of me.
It is. Yeah, I think because obviously they just know they're going to lose the ball, whether it's the first ball or the second ball, if they kick it out long anyway. And I think they know that they're going to lose it because we've got such big players in our squad, and I think that's probably the easiest way. But I think again, a lot of teams from non-league right up to the Premier League are all playing that style now, aren't they? And they all want to try and get their own way about it. And I tell you what, Arsenal weren't too bad at it sometimes in that game. You know, you've got to give them their credit; they were good at it at certain points, but. Again, like you just said, Matt, the press was just incredible, and you know, even the commentators, as much as they both did me head in through times, they were really analysing that press from Liverpool, and they were saying how good we were with it, and we all know how good we are with it. But I mean, Mick, it's hard to defend against that, isn't it? Really,
I think we've got the perfect combination of press, and if they want to go long, you want to go against Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk in the air.
Yeah,
good luck with that. It's the lesser of two evils in a way that they're trying to do that because 1 out of 10 times you'll get out of it, and the Arsenal have got the quality in midfield or on the full-backs to play passes into feet nicely and get round that press. But when you've got Sadio Mane in that type of attitude, in that type of form, and then obviously Bobby Firmino and Sadio Mo Salah chasing everything down, you're hard pressed, especially at Anfield. Like maybe at the Emirates, you get away with that a bit more, but at Anfield, it is a risky tactic. But then, like you said, Jay, people and clubs, a lot more clubs do that these days, and they want to abide by that philosophy that everyone seems to be doing now, where they play from the back, and more often than not, if you haven't got the quality back there, you're fucked. But it's I mean, we've got the perfect blend of having that front three so good, and then having like centre backs, and especially Fabinho in that midfield who's tall, who can win the headers back there. That the forced to do that basically.
Matt, going into that second half, I noticed, you know, definitely around the first 10 minutes that Arsenal were, you know, they were pressing a lot higher, and they were putting us under some pressure. It didn't seem as easy in that second half and in that early stages, did it?
No. But with that being said, like, a new Arsenal were going to come out, and
yeah, they had to change something, didn't they?
I feel like I find myself repeating this a lot, but Liverpool pre-Van Dijk, Fabinho, Alisson crumble, and Arsenal get in. I wanted the third goal just to be safe, but I feel like we didn't really need it. Yeah, Arsenal got in behind a few times, but then you've got that just man mountain of a goalkeeper just saving everything. Arsenal had to come out, and to be fair to them, they have got the quality in midfield, in attack, to cause you problems. So if they went for it, they were always going to trouble us. But again, I was confident enough in the defence and in Alisson, because that man is he's a god.
He is. He's triple B in it, the beautiful bearded bastard himself. I think with Alisson. All right there, Matthew.
Nice one.
Yeah, Matt's just hit the nail on the head, really, hasn't he, with how good Alisson was, Mick. And like you said, it's some fantastic saves, even though one of them was offside, obviously, but he had Lacazette in his pocket, wasn't he? And Lacazette came off the pitch and his head in his hands and stuff like that. And it's like, you know, if you've ever been at work and you've sent, you know, a wrong email or anything like that, you're at work going, oh, for God's sake. Yeah. And he's as a striker, he's at work and he's gone, I've just missed that. I can't believe I've just done that. And yeah, it's what a couple of saves by Ali. Just unbelievable presence.
Yeah. And the other couple where they were trying to play us at our own game, really. You can see David Luiz trying to ping them like diagonals, and they worked a couple of times, but there was times where it was tight and they were just offside, but then there was that one that, like, you just touched on, the Lacazette one, I think it was like 60 odd minutes, wasn't it, where he's onside, and because Alisson comes out of his goal so fast and makes it small for him, he basically just panics. That's all it is. Yeah. And that is why, before the game, where there was all this talk about Alisson maybe being injured, that's why I was worrying even more, because I knew, you know what you're going to get with Arsenal under Arteta. It's going to be that type of football. Yeah. They're going to we're gonna have our high line. They're gonna try and play little incisive through balls just halfway through into our half. And if Adrian's in goal, do you get that same type of presence? I know he did well against Lincoln and fits and starts, but he's susceptible to being a bit rash or not coming out quick enough. And defenders not having the confidence in a second keeper like Adrian. Does it make them drop, or their line? Does it make their line not as good because one of them is panicking and then a bit further back? There's little things like that. We're having that guy in goal. He's just the best in the world, and he makes. We've said this loads of times. He makes the difficult make it look easy, and it's just he's an absolute. He's one of the most influential signings we've made in the past fucking 30 years, probably. Just that he's been that. We haven't had a good goalkeeper for that long. That's why we won the Premier League, because of him. Obviously, alongside Van Dijk, but he's one of the main reasons we've won it.
It's no slight on Adrian to say he's not Alisson.
No, absolutely not.
Alisson, it's just what he is, isn't he? He's Brazil's number one for a reason. When you're keeping a keeper like Edison off, you know that you're quality. So
yeah, exactly. And I think it did give us a little bit of a lift, because we knew then, like, Arsenal were threatening. We thought the third goal, we needed that third goal just to really seal it then, didn't we? Because I think the panic, well, maybe it's just me. Everyone knows who I go the match with. I panic quite a bit. Stuff like the situations like this, because you always think that we could slip, we could get a goal or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, Matt, when Manny was getting brought off, I was a little bit worried, because I just thought Manny, like Mick said, he was in beast mode, wasn't he? And Diego Jota's coming on again. Not a slight on Diego Jota, just Diogo Jota. Excuse me. Before I get sliced for that. When he came on, mate, I was made up to see him make his debut. It's always exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was buzzing. I was like, okay, let's see what this kid could do. We know what he can do. He's a Premier League level player. And there's been a lot of criticism, at least from rival fans, saying what you're doing, spending so much money on Diogo Jota. But Diogo Jota is a quality player. Don't get it twisted. And you can see he is what Linda's described. He's a pressing machine. He lost the ball a few times and just won it back straight away.
Yeah.
And his introduction, though, led to one of my most sweary moments of the game. When Salah dispossessed him, I lost my rag. Like, I went mental. And you hate that about Salah, but you love it as well, because it's where he gets so much goals. But in that instance, I could tell you there was no love for Mohamed Salah when he took the ball off Jota.
Yeah, I think because he had one just before, didn't he, where he hit the side net, and he should hit the target, really, if you're being picky, and he should score, to be honest. Then Salah just absolutely takes the piss, really, just takes it off his foot. You're like, it's on Jota's side. He's tried to, and you're just like, fuck off, no, you're not. What are you doing? and then he goes and he still scores. So he came on 80 minutes, and he has 3. He could have had a hat-trick if he puts that first one in. Like, obviously it would have changed completely, but he could have had a couple in those last 10 minutes of the game. I know Mane was absolute beast, but him being on the yellow card for me was always worth bringing him off just in case the worst thing happened. And I don't know, he made a slightly bad tackle, and one of those Bellerin fell over like a little knobhead like he is, and just started crying down, referee. But no, made up for Jota. He's fucking what a start to his Liverpool career.
Yeah, and Matt, even without the goal, I thought he made a big impact on the game. You know, it was one of the things where you do get worried when Mane does go off, and we all know what a quality player Jota is. But you know, there's always that little worry that because of how well Mane was playing, but he had a big impact besides his goal, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, his just overall play, it just suits Liverpool. He's not the most rapid, but he's quick. He's physical. He presses. His work rate's immense. He's got a good touch in him. It's clear to see why Klopp brought him in. And he just slotted into the team as if he's been there for ages. And it goes to show what signing the right player for your system can do. It's all well and good signing these massive names, but if they don't fit in your system, it's going to take time. But this boy just slotted in as if it's nothing.
Yeah, absolutely perfect way to sum it up, mate. And Mick, well taken goal, wasn't it?
Boss goal. Like, I don't think he's not going to get enough credit for that. Like he's controlled it on his knee and then just volleyed it and hit the post and went in. Like he couldn't hit it any better. And I think when you watch some of his goals for Wolves from like last season, he never strikes it like completely perfectly or truly. It always like reminds me like a Robbie Fowler finish where he like it looks like a scuff, but he scuffs it enough where it's like he's hit it that like that, so it goes in the corner. I'm not saying Diego Yotta's Robbie Fowler, by the way. Fucking hell, not a fucking chance. But like,
you have to be careful on this platform. What you say, Michael?
There's the podcast title. No, good finish, and like Matt said, we can talk all day about Kylian Mbappe's and Jadon Sancho's and all this kind of shit, but the work that Klopp and the technical team do in terms of drilling into numbers and who presses where and who's got the highest work rate and assists and goals and all those like minute details that get taken a lot more in notice of these days in terms of especially in Klopp teams. He obviously fit the bill, and you can see that straight away. He comes on and he makes an impact. Could add a couple, like Matt said, the pressing machine. And if he's happy coming off the bench for this season and probably maybe next season as well, for the front three, then happy days. Like Taki Minamino only got 3 minutes, and he was boss against Lincoln. He was boss in pre-season, and he's just going to have to bide his time. Curtis Jones didn't even come on. It's just like it's nice. It's a good time to be a Liverpool fan with all these like players in the reserve, and especially even Thiago didn't play today. You've got him to come in as well. Like, there's just the absolute quality and abundance, and it's just fucking boss to see.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
About Jota, the exciting thing about him, right, for me at least, is that we've seen what Jurgen Klopp's done with Sadio Mane. He's turned him into an absolute monster. You could argue that Diego Jota is more advanced than Mane was when we signed him. And if Klopp can have the same impact on him, then it's going to be scary.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's what you said before, Matt. It's all about signing the right people. Well, if in terms of scoring on your debut, all these big names and big signs, if you remember one Virgil van Dijk scored against Everton on his debut and made Everton really sad. Well, Jota's done the same again, hasn't he, Michael? Because that goal put us above Everton in the table.
Fucking love all that. And I think, didn't they bring out like a fucking stupid song because they won 3 out of 3 games?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Anyway, we'll move past that. Fucking hell, that done me head in this afternoon. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Yeah, I've got a little stat for you, Jay. I'm thinking like
Yes,
this one.
the Statman's back. Go on,
Diego Jota is the 13th player to score in his Premier League debut and second to do so in a match against Arsenal after Sadio Mane. So he's in good company there, isn't he? Off the Joe for you, lad. Get on it.
No, it's up to Mick. Up to Mick. There it is. Rephrase. Change your Twitter handle. Up to Mick. That's what we're changing it to. But no, it's a good stat, mate. And you know, everyone loves a player that scores on his debut. But to do that and get it 3 wins out of 3, Matt, and to go above the Ev, not that we give a shit too much, but progression up the table is important. But that's just like a nice little added bonus, mate. But Matt, 3 wins out of 3. You can't ask for any more, can you? Really, on that one?
Nah, and more than just the wins, it's the fact that Liverpool have been playing this way for 3 years now, and they still don't know how to stop it. And that's just encouraging, because you'd think by now they'd have figured us out, but they clearly can't. So I'm excited for this season.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Obviously, there's still probably a few kinks that we need to work out in terms of working out to keep a clean sheet and stuff like that. And there's always work to be done. No one's ever perfect, and if we're good now, it's going to be even more exciting. But we go again. Is it Thursday, boys? We've got the same fixture again on Thursday.
Yeah, Arsenal at home. Yeah,
going to be plenty of changes there, Mike, isn't there? But I think with that, we've got, like you said before, mate, the squad depth is there to maybe put in another great performance against Arsenal on Thursday.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't know if he's going to go similar, or I imagine he'll probably throw Minamino and Curtis Jones in there. But I reckon Arteta will probably go pretty much full strength. So it'll be a test for them. But if you throw the likes of Curtis Jones and Minamino, maybe Thiago, hopefully in there for that game, and we still beat them, it's a sign of how good this Liverpool team is. Because, like I said, Arsenal are no pushovers now under Arteta. really good, well organised team, and you can see the identity he's trying to set there, and it is promising times for Arsenal fan. I mean, like, they came to Anfield tonight and went up 1-0, and obviously it looked like they had maybe a chance of getting maybe a point, but if they come up against our second team and we still managed to beat them, then I think that's a sign that the title should be coming back to Anfield, because you see Man City, was it yesterday, get beat by Leicester 5-2. And I know anyone can beat anyone on the day, but like Matt said, like, people, you'd expect teams to have found us out by now, and I think they have found us out. But there's a difference between finding us out and stopping it. And I think stopping that front three when they're on it and when they want to beat you, there's nothing down for you. Like, I'd hate to be Virgil van Dijk and Trent and Robbo and Gomez and training against those three, because it must be an absolute nightmare. So hopefully more of the same on Thursday. Pray to God.
And we're adding a Mr. Alcantara to the mix. So when they add him in,
yeah. Let's hopefully he'll be fit to play. It'd be nice to see him play at Anfield, wouldn't it? So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, like Mick just said, Matt, it's the League Cup, and which I think we've now got a squad that can probably fight on all four fronts, couldn't they? I know obviously there's a lot of focus on the Champions League and the Premier League last year, but I think we've got enough depth now, haven't we, we could, make a really good go in the League Cup, couldn't we? Yeah,
I think I told Mick this the other day, that a couple more years under the kids' belts and a few additions, and we've gone from looking a bit flimsy in depth to looking like we've got a proper little squad now. I think there will probably be wholesale changes. I won't be surprised if Van Dijk plays again, though. Just to solidify that back line. Simicast will definitely get a game. I'm not sure if Thiago will play. I think I read somewhere, unless they've completely made up the quotes, that Thiago won't feature until after the international break.
Yeah, I think that's right, mate. I think I saw that as well.
But either way, add Curtis Jones to the mix, give Taki a few more minutes, and I think we'll be fine. Give Shaq some more minutes as well, because he played really well against Lincoln. If we lose, we lose. There's the FA Cup, there's the Champions League. But if we win, keep the kids going, and let's see what happens.
Absolutely, mate. Well, that has been the match review for Liverpool beating Arsenal. Really enjoyed that one, boys. Thank you to Matt. Thank you to Mick. But really encourage everybody to go and read Matt's report on the Kopite website. Really good. Nice little score prediction for Matthew. Got it spot on. Pleased for you, mate. Well done. But Matt, never doubt Matt, but he's a very talented writer, so we do encourage you to check out his work. Matt will obviously be back on the Kopite podcast because, it's in the blood, Matthew. It's in the blood. You know what I mean? It's in the blood.
Wait 2 years for one, all of a sudden 3 come along, just like.
It's what we love, mate. It's what we love. But yeah, I've been Jay. Mick is here as always. He's turned into Optimick once again. And Mick, we'll see you next time, yeah?
See you next time.